All right, let's do this all over again. So somebody wanted a tutorial on lightning, I believe. Another tutorial. I believe this is the third one. So, maybe there's some improvement in my explanation and maybe evolution in the way I do it. And the person who wanted this tutorial was Websaw Studios. So, I told you I'd do it for you, Websaw. I got you. So, look, here's my thing on lightning specifically. For lightning, I'm gonna show some examples instead of making just a whole new animation for lightning because I'm very lazy and I've done this 3 times. So for the first one, I'm gonna show you the lightning arrow. Now this is a part. This is a piece from a part of something. It's one of the special moves, and it looks a little different because I revamped it. So you probably don't even recognize what move this is, and if you do, kudos. It means you're paying attention to the part of something. So back to the explanation. So for lightning specifically, as you can see in all of these movie clips, there's one thing in common, and that's that all of them have a single starter shape. All right. So what I mean by that is that they already have their preset shape. There's no real load up to them yet. Now you don't have to do it this way, but I do it this way because I don't want to have to worry about startup frames. Basically, these things happen on frame zero or frame one, if you will. And when I'm thinking of a part of something, because all these are the moves for the next part of something, I just want the move to come out. I don't want to have to predict the move or schedule its movement in which it comes out, which is something I have to do, but I don't want to. So for lightning specifically, as far as the movement go, I'm gonna add the frames, and yeah, I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm just gonna let them play for a little bit. So these are the lightning animations. Now, if you're paying attention to all of them, they all kind of have one small thing in common, and that's another small thing in common. Sorry, and that's that when they actually go in a certain direction of any kind, there's little particles that simulate where that direction is going. For instance, if you look at the blue lightning arrow, you see that small particles inside of the lightning arrow actually go forward where the arrow is shot or pointed at. Same thing for the lightning stab and the lightning slash down in the corner. It kind of curves with some of its particle effects. The only one that doesn't really have this is the lightning strike, which comes from the air. Now, you could be like, well, maybe that's intended. It's not, honestly. It's really not. It was, but now it's not. The reason for that is because it's an old animation that I slightly revamped, but not to the current day. So it's old. In other words, it needs to be revamped again. So we're gonna get a little more detailed on lightning movement. So I'm gonna go here. The very next piece of the frames for the actual lightning animations. So when they were moving, I'm pretty sure you saw that there were small particles indicating which direction the lightning strike was actually going. And then there was small flashing particles. Now, the best way I can describe this is right here, right? The lightning slash is the best example I can give. It has its initial shape when it starts, which is a literal blade slash, and then it has something that leads its directional that leads its direction that in which it's traveling, and then out of nowhere you'll have a small like a little bit of a flash of one frame lightning strike inside of it. In other words, you'll have like little zapping particles inside of the lightning strike as it goes. Like this part, for instance. This is a one frame piece, literally one frame. I'll go to the move to actually put it in more detail. So for the lightning strike, it looks like a lot. Believe it or not, it's not. These are all pretty much. This is one piece. All right, this is just one single piece. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So for this piece right here, actually, let's move that back. Oops. Yeah, I exited. So for this specific piece of the lightning strike, as you can see, it's all going in one single direction, initiated from its original slash. And right here, for a single frame, we will end up with a small. Oh, sorry, yeah, right here. For a single frame, we end up with a small particle that flashes for one frame, and then immediately out of frame the very next frame. So why did I do that? Well, that's easy. I'm pretty sure if you've seen a lightning strike video, the lightning is so fast that it literally doesn't last for more than maybe half a second. when actually striking. In fact, the only thing that you really see is the light and the sound. Not see the sound, and you hear the sound. Sorry, that's how fast lightning is. So whenever I make lightning, I make sure that there's a piece of it that's going too fast, or at least simulating speed of it going so fast that you only see it for pretty much a piece of a second. And that's what these small random particles inside of the lightning slash are. These little dashing off particles here, this is honestly not from real life from my understanding, but it kind of is at the same time. So for a quick summary, make the initial shape, then make small particles flash in and out to simulate it going quickly, or pieces of it flashing in and out of existence quickly. Now the particles. The particles are pretty much the part that makes the animation come together as far as movement goes. When I do the particles, some of them go forward, some of them go backwards, right? I'm pretty sure you can see some of these going forward and backwards, and some are flashing in and out of existence. It looks like a mess, but it's a calculated mess, all right? So for the lightning one, some of the particles are going to go in the general direction that you made the lightning strike go, while other ones are going to separate off and just shoot off in random directions. And with the lightning strike, because the lightning strike is supposed to actually simulate lightning hitting an object, this is more prominent. But for this, it's a little more, practical, because it's easier to apply to everything. So the reason I put random particles going in different directions is because honestly, whenever I saw lightning animations, or whenever I see sparks, and I'll say sparks specifically, they always go in random directions. They never go in one direction. Sometimes they even shoot in the same direction, but they don't at the same time, which is a weird explanation, but that's how I observe it so far. And when I say sparks, I usually mean something like maybe like someone grinding a sword, which is probably not the best example, but then I compare that to actual, electrical currents, and I see electrical currents moving. It's too smooth to simulate on stick nodes appropriately. I don't know how to do it, especially since I don't have the exact tools I need. But that's generally how I would do it. I would basically make an initial shape or something loading up to the initial shape, and then whichever direction that shape is going, make some particles go in the direction of that shape, or the direction of wherever you're striking at, and make some particles break off in the opposite direction of the rest. Because lightning, to my understanding, lightning is energy, and energy kind of doesn't stay in the exact same, I want to say, shape the whole time, kind of like fire and water, but you know not quite. And if you're going to make something traveling, something like lightning traveling, because this is a quick lightning slash, it's meant to go away. If you're going to make something traveling, for instance, the lightning arrow, right here, the lightning arrow is traveling, and from from how it looks, it's literally the same. It literally sticks together. Almost no parts of it break off. It kind of just dissipates though. Well, if you're gonna make something travel, then you might want to throw some of the things I just said out the window as far as it breaking apart, and you kind of want to just keep it together since it's still traveling. It has to have some form of like, it has to have a stable condition before it actually reaches its target. For the lightning arrow, it's kind of the same. You have most of the particles going the same direction, but you have some going backwards at the same time. But the part that's actually traveling, that you want to hit something, you want to make that last as long as possible in a real form. So for the lightning arrow, I might actually change this from a ball and the spike into an actual arrow shot that explodes upon contact, but I don't know. Maybe that's for like a later thing. But yeah, so quick recap. When it comes to doing a quick attack or a quick slash of any type with lightning, you want to make the initial shape, or make something that leads up to the initial shape of the lightning. You want that shape to then break down continuously in random directions, while some of the particles you're using lead in the direction that the shape went into originally. And if that shape is a projectile of any type, you want the projectile to overall stay together with some of the same rules as the ones before, until it reaches its target, in which it breaks apart, or it runs out of energy, in which it breaks apart. Sorry for the lengthy summary, but That's how it works. All right, that's the lightning tutorial. If anyone wants another tutorial, let me know. There's a lot of there's a lot of movie clips I have here, which could be really good for tutorials. Honestly, there's just so many, so many. Oh god, that's a lot more than I thought. All right, but if you guys want the tutorial, or if someone really looked through the list I just scrolled through and somehow paused on something they're interested in and they want me to explain it, just let me know. Or if you want me to make a certain item and you want it in the part of something next, let me know as well. I'm fine with anything so much. And by the way, for the next part of something, it seems like the lightning god has gotten the most. I'm gonna say the most. How do I say this? He's gotten the most interactions between people. He's gotten the most mentions so far. The kicking god has gotten one reaction from Marvelous Sands, I believe, and the lightning god has gotten one from Romano and from someone else. But the lightning god has gotten so much more information on it, and it has three set moves already that are already pre-made that just need to be revamped. The kicking god has maybe two, and they're not even moves for kicking. They're moves for a slash that I made for the sickles. But yeah, all right. That's enough of that. I'll see you guys next time.